Hi, I'm Lyndie Moe. I play Maureen Johnson in the 20th anniversary international and national tour of Rent. I still can't believe it. Even now, 2 years later, I still wake up every day that we have shows and I'm like, ah, and I just get really excited. And because it is so impactful and it was such a progressive musical, being able to share that every night is just wonderful, and I don't think it'll ever get old. Probably how difficult it is to really be healthy every 8 days a 8 days a week. No, 8 shows a week. It is kind of difficult, but I've learned the ins and outs of being healthy and what to do to be able to maintain my voice, or how to stay healthy, just vitamins and water, and the whole learning about that was kind of difficult, but we got there. So I first heard of Rent, I was at a sleepover, I think, in 7th grade. And a couple of my friends were watching it, but I really didn't understand. We watched the opening scene, and all I really remember was papers with fire on them being thrown out, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what's happening, and we didn't watch the end of it, and so I actually didn't get familiar with it until I auditioned for it, and then I fell head over heels in love with it. I saw a high school performance of it, my junior year in high school. And my friends were in it, and I was like, oh, who is that character? And she sang about milk, and milk is my favorite drink. And I ended up being Maureen, and I was like, my goal in life is to be her one day. And I guess I hit the goal. My audition for that number, it's very different, but also very similar to what it is now. And the creative team sort of took my initial performance of Over the Moon and just tweaked it and made it perfect and in my way. So I, over time though, I've just sort of settled in with the piece and got to know really what each line meant and registered it to myself, and it's still exhilarating to do it every night. And I go out there and we wait backstage, and the Joanne, she hypes me up before I go out with my motorcycle, and it's so much fun. Even when people don't moo, it's still fun. First Broadway show I ever saw was Beauty and the Beast. I was a little girl. I was little. I'm gonna say 6 or 7. 6 or 7. When I remember seeing the show and just being captivated by it and being like, oh, what is that? And I just have never seen anything like that, because I grew up in Kansas and there wasn't a lot of any kind of theater out there. So this was the first time I really did see anything like that. I think the first time I felt that moment though, I was yodeling when I was a little girl, and I was like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life. But seeing the Broadway performance was super, it was just incredible. Incredible. My favorite part of China for sure was the Great Wall, probably. And my parents actually came up to visit me because they're some of the biggest Rent heads now, and so they were able to come up, and we all went to the Great Wall together too, and we also had a cast trip, and it was just it was such a bonding experience, and it was unlike anything I've ever seen in my life, and so that was incredible. In Japan, everybody is just amazing. Everything in Japan, oh my gosh, I would go back in a heartbeat. I really would. It was beautiful, and the fans in both Japan and China were just incredible. They had the most amazing things to say, and these thoughtful gifts, and I was like, what? It was insane. The fans in Tokyo and Japan definitely were an entirely new experience, but in the best way, seriously in the best way. I remember after our first show in Tokyo, we all came out and there wasn't really anybody there, and then the elevator to the theater opened, and an entire mob of people came, and they all were like, please sign a thing, and then another elevator would open, and then there would be more people, and they just were so kind, and some of them would be crying, and the show means so much to me. And it's beautiful that we get to share this story, and we get to bring this to a different country and let these and share this message with people that we probably would have never spoken to beforehand. So it was really beautiful just seeing how much Rent meant to these people, and how much all over the world Rent means so much, and that's just incredible to firsthand realize and be like, oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. I think that it's just 20 years later, and it's Rent with the same blocking and the same concept and the same creative team, but it gives, since we are all younger than the original cast, it gives a new, fresh jolt to it, and it brings it to life. It brings it to life I don't know, with a different feel, but at the same time it still captures like the essence of Rent the musical, and we all get to bring our personalities into the roles and we get to embody them, and we get to share the message but just in a more current way. Definitely Lady of the Lake and Spamalot has to be one of my dream roles. Oh, what else? Anything in like cabaret or Carole King musical. Just any, or any kind of original musical where they have some like badass female, like I want to be in like an action scene somewhere. That would be incredible, but I don't know if but that would be amazing. That's my dream. Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of like people who, besides Laura Osnes, I went through a Laura Osnes phase. Oh, yes, I can. I went through a Bernadette Peters phase as well. But it's like my family really was the ones that were like inspiring me, and I don't really remember like specific people, but I would just spend hours like watching shows that I liked or songs that I liked. And if I were interested in a role, I would watch like people who've played those roles, and like I would soon find those people. Oh, I really liked Megan Hilty. That's like oh my gosh, she's incredible. I love, so that's kind of how I find people. Like Laura Bell Bundy is another one, I guess. I said I didn't really have any, and I'm like, oh, here are all these people.
Yeah,
but yeah, so they keep coming, they come, and that's how I find them. There was this one fan in China, and she made everybody these phone cases. Like oh, it's over there. She made everybody these phone cases, and she DM'd us all and asked for our phone size, and they're beautiful. They just say Rent and like 20th anniversary tour, like No Day But Today. And she literally went out of her way to make all of these for us and gave us these phone cases. And she also like just took pictures. There were fans who took pictures all the time, like during the end scene, like when you're allowed to take pictures, like bows and whatnot, and they would like post it, and like she made this like, it was really beautiful, like the extent that these fans went to. And the other one that stuck out specifically though was the girl who made phone cases for us all. I can't believe I got this role. I was shocked, but as I was like in the process of auditioning and callbacks, I really took a liking to like Eden Espinozas and like Annalay Ashford. Hers was just so weird, which I loved. I loved how weird hers was, and like I've never seen an Over the Moon like hers, so I was like, oh, I really like that. But at the same time, we're doing the original Rent with the like 1996 blocking, so I couldn't go that weird. But I really like took in like, oh, I loved how weird it was and how unique it was. But I also really liked Eden, like she was kind of out there. And so those are two that I really loved. Not a Slytherin, because she really is not evil. My Maureen anyway is not evil at all. I can't say Gryffindor, but she's not like, actually I'm gonna put her in Ravenclaw, because her Over the Moon is, if you really analyze that, it is genius. She pulls from these events that happened through life, like current, like actual events, and she puts them into this beautiful, weird metaphor. And the fact that she can do that means that she is one heck of a person, and Ravenclaws are like smart, and they're like, and I think that she should be, or like a mix between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff, because she's always like, as well, and so that's what I associate Hufflepuffs. Okay, she definitely would start out with that Demi Lovato song, the Confident song. Definitely that song would be on there. Do you know Attention by Charlie Puth? That song is a bop, and that would definitely be on there. Oh, the nursery rhyme, the hey diddle diddle, cat and the fiddle jumped over the moon, that has to be on there. She would like stop the rager and go perform it for everybody. What else? Oh, Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. That's just a classic. And she probably sang that once she broke up with Mark. What else? What the Hell by Avril Lavigne. those are the 5 songs. Honestly, I'm gonna say it's a boy. It's actually my boyfriend, I'm gonna actually say here. He is one of the most like politically aware people like I've ever met, and he always is standing up for what he believes in and is saying all of these like incredible like points and like things that I don't really like, that I don't think about like every moment. He's like, no, no, like blah, 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 blah. And I think I admire that so much about him. And technically he's not a girl, but like it's beautiful seeing how much of an advocate he is about certain things, and how he really does speak out for like what he believes in. I think it's beautiful. I was beside myself. I was like, this is obviously a mistake. I called my mom, and she was like, oh no, that can't happen. Like they got the name wrong. And I was like, I know, Mom. I still am shocked. Like this was my first audition I've ever done in the city, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go in and sing a song that I like and hope for the best. And I guess I just got very lucky. I'm very thankful though, and I wouldn't change it for the world. My favorite line in the show has to be "Moo with me." Has to be "Moo with me." I love looking at everybody and saying "Moo with me," and sometimes there's a brave soul out there who I'll like literally just finish the sentence "Moo with me," and they're like "Moo," and then everybody just starts, and it's just beautiful. I love it. That has to be one of my favorite. If anything, I feel happy that I am playing Idina role, because she is just like, she's amazing, and she this was like her like thing that made her like big, and she like watching some of like her performances on YouTube of her singing like in the workshop production of this was so incredible, and like the raw emotion and like the vocals that she had, it all seemed very real, and I just feel, and I like that. I liked that feeling that I felt while watching that, and I felt more of like a supportive vibe rather than like an intimidating thing. No day but today. Live life and don't think about the past. I know it's hard not to think about like the future and stress about things, but you kind of like putting yourself through anxiety like twice if you think about it now and then when it happened. I don't know, it's very hard to actually live in the moment, but I've been trying to do that myself more, and when I do, it's incredible. And just putting the phone down for a second and just like looking around you and calling your parents and telling you love them, or calling whoever and just telling you love them, because you truthfully never know like what could happen, and Rent is sharing that message, so definitely that.